Welcome to another edition of Let's Watch. This time, we look at Shane Wright, the projected #1 overall pick for the 2022 draft. Like many OHLers, Wright didn't play last season, except for his 5 games at the World Junior Under 18. But his age 15 season with the Kingston Frontenacs was more than promising. He scored 66 points in 58 games, matching Connor McDavid's total from his same season in 5 fewer games. So in preparation for Wright's upcoming draft season, in this video, we're going to break down one of his games at the World Junior Under 18 tournament. He wears number 15 for Team Canada.
And back the other way comes Shane Wright. He's got wisdom with him. Wright fires and scores!
So this is the first shift of the game. Wright is playing between Gunter and Brendan Ottman. He wins this face-off, but the puck slides all the way to his goalie. This turns into a breakout. Wright provides a passing option to Gunter on the wall, but Gunter chooses to hit Ottman instead. Back to Wright. Wright almost manages to get this puck to Gunter. Let's watch this. So Wright doesn't scan before getting this puck, but he knows that Gunter is accelerating the wide line. So this is a difficult position, but with a couple of precise stick handling touches, he almost manages to place this puck in a position to hit Gunter accelerating. Now this is a puck battle that Wright supports. The puck moves high, and he moves inside the shooting lane to almost get the tip. So this shift starts in the defensive zone. Wright tries to find the exit. Puck bounces on Gunter, who pressures up ice, forcing the Belarus team to rush their play. Nice stick lift from Wright and an even better goal. So let's rewatch this. Gunter pressures up ice, he forechecks. Wright makes the stick lift right at the hands of the opponent, making it very hard for that opponent to react and recover. And then he fires this right inside his stick handling motion. So there's no drawback, he just leans laterally and fires this top net, making it a very deceptive and very fast release. So it's very hard for the goalie to save that. So this is a regroup. Wright is in the middle of the ice. His defenseman attempts to carry this but loses the puck. Wright stays ahead of his man on this attack, so he removes that opposing forward from the play. Now he finds this puck. A nice slip pass under the stick of the opponent to Ottman, who loses the puck and turns into a breakaway. But fortunately for Team Canada, the Belarus forward doesn't score. Wright is playing one of the high defensive wingers role in this defensive zone sequence. Communicates with his teammates so that they all find the right assignments. And as soon as Ottman moves up, he now feels his hero and supports his teammate on the wall, cutting all options. And now this is going to be a 2-on-1. And Wright decides to fire on that. So let's rewatch this. So this starts into a 2-on-0. So what Wright does is delay. He waits for Clark to attack across the ice and uses the presence of Clark to manipulate the defender. So he delays, he waits, he fakes a pass across, and as he delays, the opposing defenseman has to back off, creating more space for Wright, who can find a shot inside the top of the circles. So Team Canada and Wright are on the power play right here. He loses this face-off. So Belarus are probably going to try and dump this out. No, they decide to organize the attack. So Wright has to backcheck to cut this play. He's a bit light on it, but it's hard to see if it was really his assignment with zoomed in camera. And now I don't know why he turned back there. Let's rewatch this. So he makes this pass, and I think he anticipates that his team is going to regroup, so he misses the second one. Puck bounces on him. Enters the zone. Okay, wow, so let's rewatch this one more time. So the play here is probably to rim this around for his two teammates across the ice, but Wright instead just handles pressure and makes a backhand feed under the pressure of two defenders to his teammates in the middle of the ice. So this is a bit of a complicated play, but a nice one from Wright. Now he's playing the half wall on Team Canada's power play. That's a bad pass from his defenseman, and a weird decision to shoot right there. Wright is again in an offensive zone faceoff. He wins this back to Zellweger, who comes down the wall and fires on that. Wright covers for him in the meantime. He indicates to Othman that a pass back to Gunter is the best play right there. And he fires from the top of the zone. Zellweger takes this again. And a really nice play from Wright and Zellweger. Let's rewatch this. Wright takes this. He stays at the top of the zone. Zellweger comes down. Now all of the opposing defenders have their back turned to Wright. They don't know that he's coming down through the funnel. And with perfect timing, Wright controls his skating. He doesn't overshoot this passing line and receives this. That's a catch and release. So he receives this and fires it far post on the goalie. So this is a very hard save to make for the goalie. A really nice timing from Wright and a really nice pass from Zellweger. Face off at center ice. Wright wins it. Now this turns into a regroup. And as his defenseman skates up ice, he stays back to cover for him and then goes on the forecheck. Team Canada uses a 1-2-2. I like that Wright stayed above the puck. This allowed him to angle the opposing forward as he tried to break out. Another forechecking sequence. And you can see Wright helping again. He stays outside of the pocket, steals the puck, makes a pass to the top of the zone. And he's again above the play. So if anything goes wrong, he's in position to stop the opposing breakout. It does go wrong, and we have a pretty good look at his skating stride. So if we freeze frame, you see that Wright pretty much hits all of the right cues. So he extends fully, his ankles bend too, so his knee advances almost past his toe and his toes, and he also has appropriate knee bend, and his back angle is pretty good too, which is rare for such a young prospect. He definitely projects as an above average skater. And now this turns into a defensive zone sequence. Wright picks up his man, tries to cut this passing line. He's a bit late on his stick positioning, but you can see that he sticks with his assignment, so there's no problem of over aggressiveness or trying to go for a puck or puck watching too much. He's with the right guy all the time. Wright wins this face-off. The puck moves to the top to Zellweger, passes it back to Wright, who tracks the defender and passes back to Zellweger. Just an exchange between a forward and defenseman. But now Wright takes a bit too long to make this last play. I think he really wanted to hit Zellweger again, but the Belarus defender expected it. And now Bedard takes a penalty, unfortunately. So this puck gets dumped in, another forechecking sequence. Wright is coming in as F3, he pressures the breakout, and now skates back to help his team defensively. This turns into a breakout sequence for Team Canada. Again, Wright is low and slow, which allows him to get this puck. He moves it into space, and now rushes ahead to push back the line of defense, and moves into space to potentially receive a puck, and then to the net once it gets there. So he almost jumped on a rebound. Team Canada is on the power play, and Wright plays the half wall again. He moves his puck to the top, and he's going to roll even outside of the zone, so he gets his skates on the other side of the blue line to pick up a bit of speed as he comes down, which allows him to make plays with speed instead of flat-footed. He does it again right there, picks up this puck, and he fires on that. So you can see his unique release again. Let's rewatch this. So instead of leaning forward over his stick, he kind of leans laterally to create some leverage on his stick. He still fires with power, and this release is deceptive and quick too. It's just pretty unique to him. Honestly, we don't see many players fire like that, but it seems to be really a pattern in his game. Now gets this puck again. You can see his handling skills. His top hand is away from his body, which allows him to move the puck freely in a variety of direction. And let's rewatch this. So he moves toward the inside of the ice and extends his stick to reach Othman near the net, who almost scores by going between his legs. So a bit of manipulation and passing creativity from Wright. His team is still on the power play. Wright wins this face-off again. He's positioned himself on the half wall. It's another shooting chance. You can see his pretty unique release, his high stance, the way he leans laterally on his stick, and he shoots from behind him right there. So his releases are pretty deceptive. But he can also fire more traditionally side right there on this one-timer. And now they all rush the net. This was a pretty good scoring chance. Wright stays high in case his team wants to rim this puck. Yeah, to him. He gives them an outlet and moves this up to the blue line to Zellweger. So a few good scoring chances for Team Canada on this shift. So this is a continuation of the power play as Belarus took another penalty on the last shift. Wright gets this puck in the middle of the ice. He attacks the zone and collapses the defensive formation around him before passing. So let's rewatch. So all 4 defenders are on him, which leaves space for, I think this is Othman in a wide lane. By collapsing the defensive formation around him, Wright creates space for Othman, and this leads to a shot on net. So a good play from him. So here's my report on Wright's game. It was a strong positional performance from the projected number 1 overall pick, offensively and defensively. Wright understands how to support the play, how to control his speed to give passing options, and to remain in range to jump in battles if needed, without becoming over-aggressive and forfeiting defensive side positioning. The puck didn't stay on his stick very long. He moved it into space as soon as possible, but not before attracting defensive pressure on himself first. He scored 2 goals, including one on a deceptive and well-timed movement to the slot. He went down the funnel as the puck moved below the goal line and fired far side on the goalie on reception, leaving him no chance of making a save. His release has some quirks, but he more than makes it work. He fires quickly, with no drawback, straight out of his stick handling motion, and deceptively. He times his release and passes with screens, and can also fake another play first to surprise the goalie. I didn't see many great playmaking sequences from him this game, however. It was mostly enough puck threat. Wright could scan the ice even more before getting the puck. He was caught anticipating lanes or plays that never manifested themselves a few times. Overall, not an exceptional performance from the 17-year-old, but a projectable one. So that's it for the video. Please subscribe to the channel for more reports like this.
Man, Shane Wright.